Good evening, good afternoon, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, it's still morning. Good morning, everybody. We're coming to you live on Facebook from Congregation Brith Shalom, where we meet every Sunday to, and this is going to be backwards for all of you, but Shabbat Bliss. It shows reverse in the camera. But we have a special program that we're going to be doing for the next probably 300 weeks, talking about the 39 Melachot of Shabbat and connecting them with character and traits that can help perfect us not only in our Shabbos but also in our interaction with other people, in our character as individuals. So I wanted to share one quick thought before we begin today's class about something we did mention on Tuesday night, but that wasn't recorded for the general public. So we're gonna share this idea.
Don't faint.
I'm about to faint. So the Haggadah. In the Haggadah, we know we have the 4 sons, we have the 4 questions, we have the 4 cups of wine, we have the 4 different phrases of redemption, v'hotzeti, v'hitzalti, v'ga'alti, v'lakachti, the different terms that God uses that when He says that He's going to take us out of Egypt. And these 4 principles are what the entire Haggadah, why we have the 4 cups of wine. Each one represents a different aspect of redemption. And then we have the 4 questions of the sons and daughters. All right, the 4 questions that are asked, and then we know the Chacham, the wise, the Rasha, the evil, the Tam, the simple, and the She'en Yodeh L'Shol, one who doesn't know how to ask. And the sages ask, why do we need to bring these 4 different types of children? Why do we need to talk about them? So we know that the mitzvah of Pesach, there are 2 biblical commandments that we will fulfill this Pesach. Number 1 is to eat matzah, and the second, to talk to our children and to tell them about the redemption from Egypt and to discuss it to the greatest detail we can discuss. And in fact, there are many things that we do on Pesach that are intentionally odd, so that the children should ask questions. So get them into the frame of mind of asking questions. They should see something different. Suddenly you come and you're not wearing your regular jacket. Suddenly the kids see that we're drinking 4 cups of wine, not regularly. Typically on Shabbat we have 1 cup of wine, right? They see that we're not eating this, we're eating that, we're eating all of these things, so that the kids ask questions, that they get involved. One of the things I mentioned in the class on Tuesday is that to me it's a little bit of a question as to why in school they feed the children with all of these questions. Why are you feeding them all the questions? If they're expecting it, it's no longer a surprise. So why are they teaching it? I think it's a good idea. I think for a teacher to come back to tell the kids before they leave for Pesach, tell them, listen, there's some mitzvahs that we need to do, like eating matzah. We're going to have to read the Haggadah. But I want you to come back to me, and this is what I did with my children, but I think a teacher should do this to the students in school, and tell the children, I want to know how many questions, how many things you're going to be able to ask at your Seder. And I did that for my children when I had my Seder at my parents'. My father said one of the Seders, he says, I want you to run the Seder. And that was what I told my children. I said, I want you to ask as many questions as possible. And the more questions you ask, the bigger your Afikoman gift is going to be. Right? and the idea is we want our kids to be involved in that conversation. But the question is, why do we need to bring up the Chacham, the Rasha, the Tam, the She'en Yodeh L'Shol, the 4 different types of sons and daughters? Why do we need to bring up all of these different types of children? So because it's their night, because it's the night for the children to be discussing these things, for the children to be asking the questions, for the children to be involved in the conversation. So we say, whether they're wise, whether they're not, whether they know how to ask, whether they don't know how to ask, whether they're just simple children who just don't care, our job is to immerse them all in these questions. And we see this by the words just preceding these 4 sons in the Haggadah. It says, Baruch HaMakom Baruch Hu Baruch Shenatan Torah La'amo Yisrael, Baruch Hu. 4 different times that it says the word Baruch means blessed. And then it starts talking about the 4 sons. So I heard from Rabbi Pesach Kron many years ago, where he said, to each one of those Baruchs, go on one of those children. You have to know, no matter what that child is, no matter his tendencies, no matter his practice, each one is blessed. And you need to care for them, and you need to worry for them, and you need to love them, and you need to do everything you can to nurture that child, because just remember, that child is blessed. He's Baruch. And that's why it says those 4 Baruchs. So I think it's important for every parent out there, when we're having our Seder, remember that every single one of our children, I think in general, we have to ensure that our Shabbos table, that our holiday table, is a time of joy. Because I was just sitting with someone this morning. He was telling me how 2 people in his office, their children are marrying non-Jews. And he's devastated, the parents are devastated. And he says, what can we do to stop this tide? What can we do to stop this rate of intermarriage, which is at such a rapid such a rapid pace? The only way to do it is to have a passionate Judaism in the house. If there's a joyful, passionate Judaism in the house, there's nothing for them to find out there. And then we talk about Shabbos. It's a perfect segue. We talk about Shabbos, and we talk about the beauty of Shabbos and the holiness of Shabbos. It's funny, on the way coming here, I was listening to the radio just for like 3 minutes, and they're talking about it was a sports channel. I don't even know what channel it was on. Right, it was on the radio, and they're talking about different types of traveling. They travel so much. He says, a cruise, and they start mentioning a cruise. They're talking about a cruise. I'm like, hey, that's exactly what we're talking about Shabbos. Shabbos is a cruise. Where when it departs is the beginning of Shabbos. You know what? You say, I can't believe it. I got something in my car. I forgot my special homemade cookies. Guess what? It's too late. Right? It's too late. The ship left the dock. It's over. That's Shabbos. Now you're in a different time zone. Right? And when we have such a joy and a love for Shabbos, and we express that love and we show that love in our homes, what happens is that then our children love it as well. But if it becomes rules, you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't do this, you can't do that, this is forbidden on Shabbos, that's forbidden, everything's about what you can't do. So what is there for children to enjoy and to love and to be happy with? We have to constantly show our children the joy and the happiness of being Jewish, and then they're going to. And then we have to remember that Shabbos is the greatest gift on planet Earth, and if we don't feel it, it's not a problem in Shabbos. Right? It's a problem with us that we're not connecting to it how we should, and that's where I want to begin today's class. On when we talk about Shabbos. We need to talk. I'll keep the tape running on Facebook. So if you don't mind, I'm sorry, my friends. You're going to have to suffer with me for a few more minutes. But one of the most important parts of Shabbos is the preparation for Shabbos. People don't understand this. That Shabbos, you can't show up on Shabbos. Oh, what time is candlelighting? 7:15. Right, 7:15. I'll be home. Right. What's going to be with the food? Having the food ready. What's to be right? So there's an entire preparation that needs to go into that Shabbos, right? As you know, chaos ensues before Shabbos with all the cooking and with all the the shopping. Everything needs to get prepared before Shabbos, making sure. And we have jobs for every single one of my children. It was about 20 minutes before candlelighting. And I was looking for my kids. I'm looking for my youngest 2 sons, the only ones who have jobs that are right before Shabbos. And I called outside. I couldn't find them in the backyard. I looked in the driveway. They weren't there. They were in the front playing with my daughter. They were playing. So I said, hey, Shabbos jobs. And they run inside. One runs inside and he turns off the phones. That's his job. He turns off those phones. He calls them, he dies them.
No, he dies.
He dies them, right?
I love that.
And because we use the term, sometimes my phone is dead, so he's like, so he dies then. So, and the other is in charge to make sure that all the light switches that are supposed to be off are off, and those that need to be on are on, and those that need to be covered are covered. And they go around, run around, make sure that they're all done. Boom, their Shabbos jobs are done. We need to prepare for it. We need to be prepared. We can't just come. And our sages tell us that this is another way for us to remind ourselves every single week about the purpose of life. This is the understanding the purpose of life. Because a person is in this world for a certain amount of time, and as soon as God pulls the plug, it's over. There's nothing left to prepare. There's no more time to prepare. We don't have any other chances. It's over. When God says now is time, the ship has sailed.
Lights out.
Lights out. Or lights on, right? But exactly. The hope is that it's lights on, and this begins a whole celebration. Oh, the righteous steward has come, right? Mm-hmm. And that's hopefully what they're going to be saying for all of us. But we can't come and expect, when I'm 90, when I'm 95, when I'm 118, that's when I'll start making, that's when I'll be nice to everyone, right? That's when I'll start overcoming my anger. That's when I'll start, making peace with all my enemies. It's really an important thing for us to remember that we have only 6 days before the Shabbos. 6 days. 6 days to work. Get it all done. Sheshet yamim ta'avod. You have to work, and I say this. Again. This is not something that I have from any source other than my own reasoning. But the Torah emphasizes sheshet yamim ta'avod. You should work 6 days. Va'asita kol melachtecha, and you should do all of your work. Uv'yom hashvi'i, and the 7th day, Shabbat l'Hashem Elokecha. It's Shabbos for Hashem your God. So, I find that the harder I work during the week, the more pleasurable Shabbos is. The less I work during the week, the less pleasurable Shabbos is. That means in order to maximize that Shabbos, you have to maximize the week. Sheshet Yamim Ta'avod, it says work, toil, do everything you can. Don't stop. Don't, it's endless work. Shabbat, L'Hashem Elokecha. Shabbos is a rest. My study partner that I learned with this morning, Dr. Leonard Goldberg, he said a very interesting thing. He says one thing that every single religion and every single culture in the entire globe has taken from the Jewish people. I mean, they've taken almost everything from us and twisted it. But one thing that they've all taken and not changed was the 7-day week. Why do they have like a 10-day week? Or 18-day week. No, everybody has a 7-day week. That's still one thing that the Jewish imprint is on every single religion. It's on every single faith. Okay, some decided to make their Shabbos Friday, some decided to make their Shabbos on Sunday, but Shabbos is Shabbos. Shabbos is Shabbos. So, to all of our friends on Facebook, thank you for joining us. You're welcome to like and share our videos and spread them out to the world so that the world can study Torah as well. And we're going to resume the rest of our class here off of Facebook. I'm sorry, you're welcome to come to our class at Congregation Brith Shalom every Sunday morning at 11 o'clock. And for this week and next week, it's going to be 11:30. And join us. Looking forward to seeing you. Have a great week, everyone.